I will say to you is that we're going to encourage the private sector to offer us as many creative ideas as they have. MTA is a public agency. We're by far not the source of all the good ideas in the world. So we want to make sure that we're hearing from the public and from the private sector about how we might do business better. The next item on the agenda is actually I am required by my job description to quibble with the title. It says the Mayor's 3010 Plan. And indeed it was the Mayor's 3010 Plan until the MTA and Ford endorsed it. It is now the MTA's 3010 Plan. There are actually two 3010 plans. One is the rail, the 3010 Plan, does also an accelerated highway. We're keeping them separate because the logic behind them is different. The rail 3010 Plan is really not, it's got, the notion is to get some lower interest federal loans to accelerate the project against the Measure R revenue stream. It doesn't add money. What it does is bring financing to bear earlier in the project to get the projects done more rapidly. On the highway side, on the High Desert Corridor, the 710 Tunnel, 710 project down south, other projects, we'll be seeking to look at public-private partnerships. Those projects are not all funded. So taking the High Desert Corridor as an example, that's a project that would connect the I-5 and take it, establish a road over to Victorville. The objective is to get trucks off the I-5 and off the 210 and off the 134. Relieve an awful lot of emissions in the LA basin. So the project has a great deal of opportunity, a great deal of potential benefit. There's a bunch of trucks coming down from the Central Valley full of tomatoes and almonds and things. They want to go east. We want them to go east. We want there to be the jobs in the agriculture. We just don't want them to come into the basin. That road would be a toll road for trucks. We're way too early to understand whether it makes any sense or not. We have to do some work. It's called traffic and revenue studies. What tariff for the road might work? How much revenue might it generate? What would that pay for in terms of the trucks? Things like that. So we're trying to advance on both fronts. The two board projects, the two projects which are identified by the board as federal New Start programs are the subway out to the west and the downtown connector. The federals announced a few weeks ago that the subway, the West Side Subway, would be treated as set 3 segments. They're going to treat it as one segment for purposes of evaluation. That's a very big breakthrough. That's a kind of an inside baseball thing. But the fact is, evaluating all 3 segments and the impact on the west side puts us in a much better competitive position than otherwise might be the case. And in the end here, we're competing with New York and Chicago and things of that nature. So I'm excited about that. We're also working on Crenshaw, and we're going to have a groundbreaking on Saturday for the Foothill extension. So a lot of work is being done. With that, I will wrap up. I don't know, Bart, how much time I have, but as long as
30 minutes.
Time, I'll be happy to
well, actually, less than 30 minutes unless somebody's going to give them a ride.
Oh, no, 30 more minutes.
But hey, everybody, we'll do the best we can. Everybody gets like 1 round of questions, but you got to laser in on questions. If the long ones, I'll have to like help edit you. But anyways, who wants to start a question? Okay, what's your name again?
Kevin Burton.
Kevin, nice to meet you.
What are the 3 segments that are being rolled into one? Does it include the West Hollywood Spur or just along Wilshire?
It's the 3 principal segments. It's not West Hollywood. I'm sorry, I've run out of knowledge. So it's 3 segments from Western out to Westwood. It's really good. Actually, it might go a little bit past Westwood. When that gets done, it'll really be good because you can take the subway out to Westwood and watch SCB UCLA basketball.
Dream. Next question, Fairmark.
Like last year.
So, I really appreciate your presentation. 2 things that come to my mind immediately are, number 1, as Stephen Box mentioned, TOD is a major part of what Metro is planning to do. The Universal City Station is one of the big TOD projects that's being undertaken right now. What thought has been given, this is first part, to creating a bike hub at Universal City Station, given the amount of bike ridership through there? Number 2, wondering, Given Senate President Darrell Steinberg's proposal to transfer more responsibilities from the state to local agencies and empowering local agencies to find new revenue sources, and in conjunction with the San Bernardino Association of Governments presentation stating that there is going to be a need for raising gasoline taxes. What is the possibility for Metro to pursue some type of operations correlated revenue stream? I'm thinking of something like a gas tax to help prevent future service cuts.
Well, we appreciate very much the state empowering the local counties to go get money as they wash their hands. Very wonderful. You don't often confront that kind of generosity.
Right, especially after they've tried to zero out transit.
The counties are not going to exercise, in my opinion. LA, maybe, maybe not, I don't know. There is no way in God's green earth, in my estimation, I'll wager, the San Bernardino, Riverside, are going to apply a gas tax. It's just not going to happen.
I'm sorry, going to what?
Not going to apply a gas tax.
Those counties are not going to do that.
But LA might?
We haven't discussed it. I'd be kind of doubtful about it. We have, 3.5 cents of sales tax. I think what we face here is a problem where the state is making increasing demands of transit while they defund it.
Well, that seems like a perfect response.
Okay, the next question, Stephen Box.
Wait a minute, he had one
The
other
TOD
part.
components.
Well, man, I like TOD, and forgive me now, a personal musing. I grew up here. I was born a few miles from here. I used to live at the base of the Southwest Museum when I was a kid. This is a different place than it was 30 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Those of us who are old, it's a different place. There's downtown residential. There's stuff over by LA Live. There's Hollywood. There's, it's a different place. TOD is occurring, and it's occurring because young people don't like driving 40 or 50 or 100 miles to work. So LA is changing. Frankly, I think the investments that we're making in rail projects only make sense in the context of that shift of urban form. Otherwise, I think we could do a bus program. But I think here, with what we see happening to the city, it's going to be it is different now than 10 years ago, and 10 years from now will be different again. So we've got to make sure that we have the background infrastructure in place. Beyond that, to be honest with you, forgive me, I run out of knowledge a lot of times. I don't know exactly what's going on with bikes and pavement systems.
Stephen and Zach and Hank.
Appreciate your commitment. You said in word, indeed, the Metro cares about passengers. And I wanted to offer that in light of the fact that you're one of the largest developers in the city of Los Angeles, with 32 TODs in play and 50 on paper, how we could look at the development of land, including TODs, as part of the transportation system, and how we can incorporate the community as a whole into your loyal and faithful group of passengers, if you will. In other words, people don't even ride rail. So how can we connect those concerns, people that live around the TODs, that they're impacted by the TODs, how can we incorporate that into the gestalt of your sensitivity towards the passengers?
I'm not sure what you mean if they're impacted by the TOD. Is TOD a bad thing?
Well, it's just the way they're being done, Art. The problem is, like they build a TOD and there's no bike racks. They tell you the bike racks are on the 4th sub-basement. Or they tell you that it's safe, but there's nothing around the ground floor like a window or anything like that. So you're endangered. They design no curb cuts, so if you're a woman with a stroller, you have to walk next to where buses or cars come out of the exits of the buildings. There's nothing sensitive in terms of the walking person. It's all based upon a motor court type of design. So that's what he's trying to say.
Well, see, I'm a bus operator, so I don't use words like gestalt. You ought to go wash your mouth out. If there's design features that we ought to put in our facilities, in our TODs, we do it. Break it down basically so a bus driver can understand it and communicate with us. We want to do the right thing.